First point I'd like to bring up is the matter of detractors regurgitating the classic, "This remake is pointless," and the defenders regurgitating the response of, "Can you name me one already existing Disney remake that actually needs to exist?" To answer that question, probably none of them need to exist per se. But given how Disney's been churning these out non-stop, right down to greenlighting a remake of Lilo and Stitch, a movie so recent that even 25-year-olds like myself can remember seeing the original on the big screen for the first time, keep in mind, it's just as easily to make a remake too soon as it is to make a sequel too late. The concept of remakes would normally just be a basic part of Hollywood that we have to live with, and the Counter Arguments made a great video a couple years back that discusses when and where remakes have their time and place. But at this rate, it's consuming the entire American film industry. Okay, not entirely. But it's becoming something like a parasite that we can't escape from, which ties into point number 2. "Oh, there's nothing original out there anymore," and people responding with, "There's plenty of original stuff out there at this time." Yes, there are original things out in the world, but my question is, for how much longer? Is it possible that the time will come when Hollywood's obsession with exploiting nostalgic properties gets to the point that they ignore any and all opportunities for something original? I'm not saying that it's certainly going to be the case, and I don't think it ever will be, but something to consider. Because I do feel that becoming obsessed with this sort of thing is like getting hooked on drugs. It will give you an instant gratification for the moment, but it will take its inevitable toll. Trends always pass through like a laxative. And if a company like Disney becomes too dependent on one type of trend to keep them afloat, it's going to overall harm them in the future. I also want to bring up the fact that one of the movie's selling points that even haters of the trailer said that they loved was the return of James Earl Jones. Never mind the supposed mindset that everyone is replaceable except for him. Look, I love James Earl Jones as much as everyone else, really. He's an absolutely wonderful actor, and I stand by that nobody could fill the role of Mufasa better than him. But, honestly, it all feels like a cynical coast on my nostalgia. Like they think that just getting James Earl Jones back to come and do his lines over is enough to win me over. Again, for some people, that is enough, and I won't say that they're wrong for wanting that. Don't let me be a killjoy to you. But for me, I'm afraid that isn't enough when I can just watch him in the original movie. It just feels like a regurgitation, and that's the only reason they hired him. Not specifically for what he could have brought to the table. It just feels like he's a tool in the marketing. Now, don't get me wrong. He might be all too enthusiastic to be summoned back, and I'm happy for him if that's the case. But from where I'm standing, it just feels like he's being used for corporate gain.